Hi, this is Michael P. Coleman, Content Director for Brother Be Well. Thanking you for checking out this series, this trauma and healing series brought to you by Blue Shield of California's Blue Sky Initiative. You wound up going back home, and before your father could jump back into the next phase of abusing you, you took a baseball bat and used it in a way that was not intended by the manufacturer. The company that made that bat didn't intend for someone to do with the bat what you did with it. Talk about that a little bit, Patrick.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised with myself when I did that. So what happened was I went home, and I was gone for days. Did my dad notice? No, he probably was too drunk. And I think because I looked so painfully like my mother, every time my dad sees me, he had this sense of rage in him. I enrage him just by existing. But when I wasn't around, he wasn't aware that I wasn't even there.
Mm.
That's the kind of relationship that we had as father and son. But when I went back home after my recovery at my friend's place, um, I remember walking in the door, was very afraid. Um, don't know, okay, so how he's going to respond. I was gone for days. Would he be mad? And I remember walking to the door, and the first thing my dad do is just unbuckling his belt. And I knew what he was going to do. So, I think being having a near death experience really changed you.
Mm.
So, as I mentioned, I was really surprised. Maybe subconsciously, there's something in me that want to strike back. So I did. I grabbed the closest thing to me, which was a baseball bat. I don't know how we have that in our household because I don't play baseball. Um, but it was a wooden bat. It was quite heavy because I was a scrawny kid. But I swung that bat with all my might at my dad's head, and he passed out. I was surprised because I didn't think the hit was that hard, but he
Mm.
probably was too drunk already.
Mm.
So it was an easy hit.
Mm.
And I make a split decision at that point. Do I want to stay here and continue taking this abuse, or should I run for my life? I I ran for my life. I my father and his mother has an extreme relationship where he prohibited me from talking to my grandma. And from the age from 0 to 5, my grandma actually was the one raising me because my father was too drunk to even remember that he has a son, let alone taking care of an infant. Um, he, however, prohibited me from ever entering my grandma's house when we were living together. But that day, after I hit him and make him pass out, I ran to my grandma's place, and I asked my grandma, "Grandma, can I please stay here?" She said yes, and I never looked back.
You never look back, and you led me right into my next question. How, if you can describe it, how elated were you to finally be out of there initially and to be with your grandma? Can you, for the listener and viewer, you're taking them through a pretty painful story. So talk about for a second how happy you must have felt to finally be out of there.
Yeah, it's a great. I think I can remember my memories when it comes to my childhood is rather fuzzy
Mm.
because a lot of time, I try to suppress those memories so I don't have to remember the pain associated with them. Um, I think I was with my grandma when I was between the age of 13 and 15, if I remember correctly. That was the best 2 years of my life.
Hmm.
We were not rich by any mean. Vietnam was and still is a third world country, and resources is scared and few and far in between. My grandma was selling meat, like fresh pork meat at the market for
Hmm.
money, and try to make a living for herself. And all suddenly she had this little kid with her who's hungry all the time because I was a growing teenager,
Hmm.
that she had to take care of. We were not rich. We did not have a lot, but I was never happier living with my grandma. Um, she's someone who cares for me because she wants to, not because she has to.
Yeah.
Um, and she also makes sure that all of her children who live with her, all of my aunts and uncle, knew that I am somewhat of an important person in this household and that no one was to mess with me.
Wow.
um, I owe my life to that woman. Yeah, and many women after her. But I've been having good luck with older women who took pity on me and took me into their wings, under their wings.
Well, I can feel that when you described it as the happiest 2 years of your life at that point, I could feel that, Patrick. I am sorry if I got to walk you in through a period that had to have brought some sadness. Your grandmother, who you love so much, died in a car accident when you were 15.